fundamental. It's Nerdcore Central.
We're here. We're in the Nerdcore Central Podcast. Y'all already know what it is. Professor Kuro here, back at it again, being a huge tomfoolery McAsshole, but that's what you guys love me for. So, Sinewave Fox.
Yo.
My guy. How have you been? How have you been?
Dude, honestly, man, I've been, generally speaking, I've been on top of the world, man. Like, just in life in general, man. Life is great, and I can't complain, which is a great thing to say because, like, a year ago, I felt like not that, like, very opposite that. Like, you know, I'm on top of the world now. No, I was underneath the earth, swimming in the core, burning my skin off, and now I feel pretty good.
I like to hear that. I like to hear that. So, what are some things in the past year that you changed or that changed around you that kind of fed into that feeling better, more confident, more comfortable, more, you know what? Yeah, I am the shit. You know? What were some of the things that helped get you to the point that you are at now?
Man, this is a loaded question because this could get real deep real fast.
Understand, at Nerdcore Central, we don't pull punches. We will ask the hard-hitting questions. It's Big J journalism time.
Clearly. I'm just saying, man, it's like 11 in the morning, or not even, you know, it's still 10. I'm still waking up. Anyway, no, a lot has happened just like in my own life. So before I even like got into the nerdcore community, I've always been making music. That's always been a passion of mine. Um, and I've just had like a lot of, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but a lot of struggles with like staying consistent with my music, staying consistent with just like things in life in general, relationships with people. And that comes from a lot of background stuff that's happened in my life. And there was a point last year where like a flip or a switch flipped, and I just kind of like woke up one week and I was like, bro, I'm tired of my own bullshit. I'm about to reset my brain. I'm about to just do everything differently because I'm tired of being the way that I am. And ain't nobody going to change it except me. So I got to do something about it. Stop making excuses. Stop sitting there playing Mario Kart by myself until 3 a.m. thinking about how sad I am. Let's, instead of just doing that, let's grind. Let's make friends. Let's do something different. Let's do something special, you know, with my own life. And so since that point where that switch flipped, I've just been on a whole other wavelength, no pun intended.
Pun intended.
Okay, maybe intended.
A little bit.
But yeah, just a whole different mindset type of thing. And my whole like venture into nerdcore and stuff has been a part of that reinvention of myself, because I was too afraid to branch out and reach out to people and like and do all these things that I'm doing now, you know, which is crazy. Because if I talk to myself even a year ago, like do wouldn't even be recognizable. Like I don't even look the same. So
this is true. You literally don't.
No, it's crazy.
It's true.
So I know you've heard this question like a bunch of times. It's been in your streams. You've answered it plenty. But for people that don't know, and I know it's related to what you've already said, why did you change your name from Gray Fox to Sinewave Fox? I know there's a multitude of reasons.
Yeah, it's a culmination of stuff. So I've actually used the name Gray Fox since 2012. I started a group with my buddy Auxiliary Phoenix. He's an Irish producer. And we did something called Wax Artistics. We only put out like a 7-track EP type of thing. We planned to do more with it, but it just didn't really take off. So that was when I first started using the name Gray Fox, was back in 2012. And the name Gray Fox, a lot of people think it's a Metal Gear reference. It was actually an Elder Scrolls reference. So you got a character from Elder Scrolls 4, the Gray Fox, who was like this master thief kind of dude. And you got all this deep lore with the mask that he wears. And I really like the concept and everything that it was portraying. So I used that name. And then after Wax Artistics, we didn't really do anything. And I didn't really do much with Gray Fox in between then. I put out something like once every 9 months, you know, just a baby every now and then, you know. And then it was 2016 that I really started like using the name Gray Fox more consistently, put out an actual hip hop album. I started doing like instrumental EPs, like lo-fi jazz type shit, then put out like an actual album with like rapping and shit. Um, and then I've just been hanging on to that, and that was never a nerdcore thing, right? This was all just me being a boom bap hippity hop jazzy sad emo boy. And once I put out Bloom last year, which was the continuation of those days, um, that's shortly after that is when I started getting introduced more into the nerdcore community. And then I realized like, yo, this pocket of hip hop is so dope. The people in this community are amazing. And I want to be a part of this. And the more I was involved with it, the more I realized how many fucking people are named Gray Fox on the internet. And my shit was just really hard to find, especially in like an otaku nerd culture where people are searching Gray Fox and they might find Gray Fox from Metal Gear. They might find Gray Fox from Elder Scrolls. They might find just Gray Foxes, like actual literal Gray Foxes. In fact, my own search history where Gray Fox resides, where Google Chrome and Alexa have all been listening to the shit that I do, when I type in Gray Fox, would still only give me Gray Foxes. So I was like, all right, if Alexa can't even figure it out, it's time for a change. So it was a necessary thing for people to find me easier. Because that was a thing too on Spotify. You type in Gray Fox, there's like 20 artists.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to be more specific. Like there's nothing else currently, and hopefully ever, named Sinewave Fox. And it was a symbolic transition too, right? Because now I'm mostly focused on doing nerdcore rather than sad boy emo shit, which still bleeds through because I'm always going to be sad boy emo Ryan with the flippy hair. So
Okay.
It's a powerful journey.
Yeah, it really is.
it's been a time. I'm really glad I did the change though. It was hard to accept at first because like again I've been using that name for 8 years basically. But I think the benefits in the end are going to pay off. So
Yeah, definitely agree. We had a question in the Discord asked by Abimax.
yo,
You used
Max,
to
what
make
up?
song covers on your old channel. What inspired you to start making original songs?
Good question. So I do have a second channel that I don't upload on ever. The last thing I uploaded, I think, was 4 years ago now. Um, but those were like rock vocal covers for the most part. Like I covered like Linkin Park, 3 Days Grace, um, a couple other bands I've done some stuff with on there. Um, but mind you, I was making original music before I even started that channel. So
Okay.
I've been making original music since I was 12 years old. I've
Wow.
been doing this a long time,
Mhm.
longer than a lot of people realize. So that wasn't it wasn't I was doing that and then making stuff. That was just me doing covers because I wanted to do covers. So
Makes sense. And I think it shows that you're really multi-talented and you go into kind of different lanes stylistically and genre-wise. So I'm kind of interested in learning about your history, just in either learning music, making music, your stylistic influences as well.
yeah, sure. My past is a smorgasbord, that's for sure. So um like my first introduction to music was church. I grew up in church. My mom was in every single choir at any church that we went to, basically. So I started off doing like church stuff, just singing that, and in school, like music class and choir and stuff, I would do all that. And then I've gotten to hip hop like 20 2002, something like that, super young. Started discovering hip hop, started listening to a lot of church rap. Um, and slowly over time, as I was becoming a rebellious teenager, I started listening to Linkin Park and
Ooh.
Jay-Z and T.I. And so I really started liking hip hop and wanted to start making hip hop actually. So this is around the time I was 11, 12, that I started working with FL Studio, which is why I still use it today, because I was using FL Studio when it still looked like a freaking potato. So the fact that it does everything that it does now is actually incredible. And so I was making beats in middle school. Like I made tapes on burnable CDs, right? I would have my dad go to Walmart, buy me some blank CDs so I could hand out beats to my friends, right? And that's what I did. And I was with the homies that would like beat on the tables and freestyle and shit at lunch. Like it was the whole shebang.
Right.
Um, and at that point in time, I loved hip hop. I loved rock, metal stuff as well, like Linkin Park, Breaking Benjamin, all that type of shit. And so I grew up with all of that. And then when high school hit, I actually went to an art school, so we had majors in high school. So my major was originally I started in communications, which was like video production, and then I was like, I want to do music. So then I switched over to music. Learned music theory, trained in choral, like proper choral performance, did a whole bunch of stuff with that. And then, on the side, when I'm not at school, I'm still grinding the beats, still writing raps. I handed out CDs, like I did a whole like cover album that I handed out to my friends in high school. I had another rap album that I was working on the side. I was going by the unfortunate name Jay Soulja at that time.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's even before Gray Fox. And then also in high school, I started a band because I was also super into, is when I was getting into like really heavy shit, like not A Day to Remember, but like also Winds of Plague and Cannibal Corpse, and like just like the nonsensical, just type of shit.
Exactly.
But the band that I started with my friends was more akin to like A Day to Remember type stuff. It was like heavy, but like sometimes pop punk. And I did that for a while until I graduated, and then I went to college. I actually didn't major in music in college. I majored in business, but I have a minor in music. Fuck, what is it? Music technology. So I was able to learn about like professional studio recording, using MIDI, using programs like Logic, Pro Tools, East West plugins, and also started another band in university, which was, we started off, our name was Within Leviathan, and then we changed it to Optimist later because no one could ever fucking pronounce Leviathan, and we'd have to say it like 20 times before anyone understood what the hell we were saying. And that was like more heavy rock shit. Or not even rock, just like heavy melodic hardcore is what I would put it under, like Counterparts, The Ghost Inside, stuff like that. If any of you guys are familiar with those bands. And so in both of the bands that I was in, I did vocals. So I was singing, I was screaming, I was also integrating rapping during some of that stuff. And this is also during the time that I was in Wax Artistics that I mentioned earlier. So I'm also doing hip hop on the side. So I'm just doing all types of shit that I like to do. Plus all the choral stuff that I would do on the side, because of school. All of that just kind of molded me and shaped me. And this is also understanding that my big source of hip hop too was Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So a lot of the stuff that I listened to was like underground as well. Like I mentioned, I like some of the mainstream stuff, Jay-Z, T.I. and all that. But what I was really banging in my free time was Atmosphere, Aesop Rock, shit like that. So hopefully that paints a picture, because now after university, I just continue doing hip hop every now and then. I kind of had a few years where I didn't do much with music. I was actually more focused on voice acting at that time. And then bring us to 2016 where I started doing Gray Fox seriously again, and then today. So that kind of has molded me into this very strange amalgamation of me.
Awesome. And I love that about you.
Sorry, this lumbar support is not hitting the right spot right now. Like I'm trying to find that sweet spot.
Not supporting.
That lumbar support is failing at its job right now.
It really is, man.
So, with your multifaceted origin, the different genres of music that you consume, enjoy, are exposed to, will we continue to see those threads, those parts of your tapestry continue to come out in future nerdcore and original music with the inception of Sinewave now?
I think you're gonna mostly see something different. Because as I've changed throughout the years, my music tastes have kind of changed as well. Because I used to be a hater, on pop music, bro. Hated it because I listened to real hip hop. I listened to real music that had more than 4 chord progressions. And then I got older, and I was like, what a stupid mindset to have. Like, and then I actually like started listening to like more pop and shit, and now I'm like in love with it. So most of what I listen to anymore, right, at least right now, is like Black Bear, Machine Gun Kelly, Paris, just really just good mainstream shit that I really like. And that's honestly what I want to explore the most right now. That's what I want to get good at, and that's what I'm aiming for, which is why Famous is very much a pop song. And a lot of what I'm writing is what I would consider pop, pop rap, pop rock, pop punk. I'm like in that realm. But that being said, I I can't I can't just erase my past, right? It's still going to be scratching at the surface. So every now and then you can expect I'm going to be releasing something that goes off that track. In fact, I'm already doing that with next week's song because I'm working on a Cyberpunk 2077 track, and it's like
Ooh.
it's like Feed My Ghost type of genre.
Ooh.
I like that.
Okay. Tickle me fancy. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's funny. A lot of both music listeners and music creators kind of go in like this circle of like you start listening to music, you just care that it sounds good, and then like as you listen, you get more and more into the technical aspects. Like, oh, if it's hip hop, like, oh, they gotta have the bars, they gotta have the crazy production going everywhere and which way. If you're into like rock and metal, it's like, oh man, like you gotta have some crazy chord progressions and interesting technical aspects in your playing. And then eventually you hit a moment again where you're like, well, I just want it to sound good again. And like all that really matters in the end is that the music is quality. It sounds pleasing to my ears.
Exactly, because like all I'm really interested in at this point is just making a song where people are like, "Yo, that's good. I want to listen to that again." I don't, and that doesn't have to have bars. That doesn't have to have like the most interesting shit going on. If it's vibey, if it's atmospheric, if it's catchy, and it's memorable, like that's the biggest thing. Is it memorable? Do I want to come back to this and revisit it later?
Exactly.
And that's where I feel like Famous was really successful, because that was like my first real attempt at like writing any kind of pop music. And I'm getting comment after comment about how catchy it is, and that feels so good because like that's what I want to do.
Yeah, it is, bro. It's been in my head for I just wanna be. Yeah, no, you definitely did something with that one.
I've got to make sure it never leaves now. It's gonna stay in your head forever.
That's it. It is permanently an earworm.
It really is. So kind of talking about like atmosphere and vibes. I feel like there's kind of a movement currently within like the YouTube nerdcore community of being more focused on fitting either vibes or emotions of like particular media, like anime, comic, or game or whatever, rather than like filling it with like direct references and plot summaries and very hyper specific bars, you know?
Yeah, I've noticed that too, and let me tell you, I'm fucking happy about it,
Mhm.
because I love listening to character raps. I love listening to ciphers, but at a point they get a little stale for me. I can only listen to a Dragon Ball villain cipher that's 28 minutes long with the same beat on loop, you know, maybe once.
Mhm.
It's not a lot of stuff that I would come back and revisit. Whereas if an artist is taking a stand, like, all right, I'm going to explore the emotions of this particular character, or I'm going to explore the facets and complexities of the situation psychologically, but in the perspective of this character, without just being like, I am Light Yagami, you know, so bluntly in the song.
Right.
I appreciate that so much more because it's not just going to be a one hit where it's like, all right, that was dope, sick bars. This is obviously a song about light on top of the 28,000 other songs about light. I'm never going to listen to it again. Like if you can write me a song that's still brings that inspiration from anime, but it's also exploring real life shit, you know? Like to me that's the more impactful. And that's kind of the vibe I'm going for as well with my music, which is why I'm so supportive of it because I want to see more of that. I want to revisit more than I currently do with nerdcore.
Yeah, totally agree with you.
And that's not to discount, by the way, real quick. That's not to discount that people should stop barring out because I'm still here for the bars, baby. I want y'all to burst my brain with the bars.
But no, that is interesting that there is a stark pull that a song has when it has either the vibe or the emotional heft or delivery that is, you know, synonymous with the character or the source material. And I like the approach that you have on top of that of taking that one extra step and relaying it to real life experiences and making it personable. So I think that is a very interesting and an approach I'm excited to see more of, especially from you, as you were the one that were talking about it. So you brought up the fact about ciphers. Do you think the craze and the hype, because in the latter part of 2020, there was a huge influx of a lot of cipher projects, a lot of posse cuts, a lot of mass features. Do you think that Bitcoin bubble has bursted? Do you think that there's going to be a slowdown into 2021 of ciphers and they might be more here, there, rather than here, here, here?
I think that's a good way to put it. I don't know that it's burst, but it's definitely plateauing. I don't know that it'll necessarily go down. It probably will closer to the later of the year because I mean every trend is gonna go in cycles. It's gonna go back down and it'll probably come back up again. But ciphers have been a really good way for people to get their views up, to get their monetization going on their channels because there's channels that have less subs than me that because they had a thick ass cipher with some names on it, that one video got them to be able to be monetized. So it's been a really good thing for community to get people involved together, exposure for everyone to meet new people. It's helping people on the creator level by just again giving those benefits of the channels. And that's what has made that such an attractive like proposition for people and such a cool thing for people to do. So as long as that algorithm and that formula is still producing those results, we're still going to see it in some capacity. I don't think that it'll ever die down though, because I mean, fuck, we got ciphers since 2000 something, right? Going like we're always going to see ciphers. But to the extent that we've seen them recently, I think it's plateauing. I think we'll see just a very, very slow incline or decline, but it's not going to go down permanently or even close to zero.
Yeah, I don't see ciphers leaving anytime soon, but I'd say what I would like to see is kind of people kind of separate. I'm not here for like the kind of I guess lower effort ciphers. I'd rather them be like either go all the way with it, like I want beat cuts and switches and production quality and all that, or just like cut it down a little bit and just do like a large song with like 4 or 5 people on it. Like I think my favorite nerdcore song of 2020 was My Squad.
My Squad,
exactly. With Frasier, Fable,
Bree and
Dizzy. Yeah, that song, I love that song. That's like a large collaboration. But it's just a song, you know, it's a good vibe.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be a cipher.
In sense, you kind of want that My Squad type feel, that posse cut.
Exactly.
You know, you can have multiple features, but if you're gonna put that cipher on it, you better come with some Tournament of Power, some Saiyan cipher, some crazy production. You better blow my socks off. Is that the gist?
100%. That's exactly what I'm saying.
for sure.
Joke's on you. I'm not wearing socks. Jesus.
I'm gonna fight you, Kuro.
You bring up
Just
really
saying.
a good point on that though, Frost, is like, and this is what we see with a lot of trends. Someone does something really fucking well, and then everyone wants to emulate it. But with imitators comes less quality.
Yep.
Because once you start oversaturating on a certain thing, the quality goes down, and then people's taste for the ciphers is going to go down because now most of them are just low effort and just not worth your time. So it's just the natural cycle of things, and we'll see that happen. And then at some point again, when it's at its lowest point that it's gonna get, someone's gonna drop like the most fire high production cipher we've ever seen, and everyone's gonna want to do them again.
Hey,
All right, bet.
I'm here for it.
Put money on that.
No money. I'm putting zero money on that. Do not take that bet. Do not take that bet.
It's too late.
No. I have a question curveball. With the change of everything into Sinewave, will we still get the annual anime ciphers from you, my good sir?
Possibly. I'm gonna say probably because I really enjoy doing that. But I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead because it's not happening anytime soon. Like it would be a closer to the end of the year thing. So more than likely, I don't have anything planned yet. So, but it's been a tradition at this point. It's been 4 years in a row. So can't stop now, bro.
Fans are waiting. So I did want to talk about some other stuff. You did say you're making a cyberpunk song, so let's talk about cyberpunk. It's been about a month now after the release. How do you feel about the game? Do you think the complaints were warranted? Can you give us a final score on it?
Yeah, I don't know that doing a cyberpunk song is good because a lot of people are very disappointed with how it's turned out. And granted, like the footage I've seen from like the PS4 release and stuff is hard to look at. It's definitely hard to look at. You know, I'm an optimist most days, and even if it's a big AAA company that should know better, I'm always like, listen, it's a lot of hands and moving parts behind releases like that. Like if they drop the ball, my thing is how do they react to it? And they've definitely made some mistakes. Like, well, I mean, first of all, they got pulled from the PlayStation Store, which is not a good look.
Yikes.
I don't think that was their choice though. I think it was just so unplayable, and they got so many complaints that they were just like, eh. But the one thing I do give Project CD Red some credit for is their communication. Some people have criticized them for it, but I look back at other AAA releases that did like really badly. Like I look at No Man's Sky, right, and how terrible that was. And while that bar is very low to begin with, you know, at least there has been communication like with the audience. They've put out a plan about patches that they're planning to release. They've put out videos apologizing. They've explained things away the best they can. So as far as like companies go, like I'm just not like, you know, fuck it all, fuck this game. Because I also recognize the other side of that coin where you've got a lot of employees who are very passionate about that project, who really put a lot of time and effort into that shit. And when it comes to the PC release that I have, not on console, I think that shows. It still has its issues, but overall, I've enjoyed the story a lot. I've enjoyed the gameplay. It's just one of those worlds where I just enjoy driving around in, and I haven't really gotten one of those since GTA 5. So I just like to sit there and go for a drive in Night City and think about life. So I've really enjoyed the game. I know that's not everyone's experience. I'm not trying to say anyone else's perspective is not valid. I've really enjoyed it. I like the concept and the themes presented behind the storyline. And without spoiling it, the Cyberpunk just explores the idea of what if you only had so long to live? What would you do with your life? What would you aim for? And that spirit is what I'm making this song about, is like how like what would I really want? What do I really want in life? Because if I had a deadline for next week, what would I focus on? Right? If I knew I only had that much time, what's the most important thing to me in that time? What would I go for? So that's what I really like about it. So overall, the game, I give it two pizza slices out of 3 pizza slices. That doesn't mean anything.
Interesting
I just like
scale.
pizza. And yeah, that doesn't mean anything. I'm really hungry.
Yeah, same. I might order pizza after this. But yeah, I like the game too. Panem is my wife.
Yes. Yes. I mean, if anything, the game should be redeemed for the existence of Pan Am.
Really, honestly,
I mean,
that's enough for me.
That's it. That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting for. I feel like CD Projekt Red definitely had like such a high reputation going in because of The Witcher,
Yes.
and now it's kind of like shaky-ish, but nothing they can't come back from with just a good release next time around.
They are far from an Ubisoft in my mind. So.
Yeah.
Do you know what I hope this is? And this is the most anime thing I'm going to say about a game development company, but this is the Nerdcore Podcast. This is like that Mike check the like the protagonist has. This is Hinata Shoyu going up for his first spike and getting blocked. Like CD Projekt Red has been releasing just consistently amazing things. And even this, like I haven't played it yet, but from what I've seen from the streams, from things I've heard, still had its pluses, still had its enjoyable qualities, but it had some flop to it. And I think the next thing that they come out with is going to be insane on a level that is going to just shatter worlds.
I would like to think that too. They like, because of their responses to like the criticism, I feel like they are aware and want to learn from this rather than just be like, well, we still sold a bunch of stuff, so now we can get away with this. I don't feel like they would be the company to go that route, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel that.
So next time they get that volleyball spike, they gonna hit it harder.
They gonna really finish him.
I'm rewatching Haikyuu. That's why that was the first thing. I got my brother into it.
Speaking of gaming companies, so I got the news recently from a friend that EA apparently no longer has the exclusive license to make Star Wars games. And I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. And I'm like, then I hear the first game that's going to be made is an open world Ubisoft Star Wars game coming out. And I instantly was worried about the game that is going to be produced. So Ubisoft has some hits, but they also have a lot of misses. So
yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I obviously just threw. Oh, go.
No, go ahead. You are our guest. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I just threw shade at Ubisoft, and that's for a reason. Like they do so many things wrong. It's not saying they don't have good games, but like even when they release a good game, they sprinkle in some bullshit on top of Ubisoft price.
Yeah.
In the possible, and I'm like, yo, why? So I'm still glad the license is being shifted, because that's at least going to get some new eyes, some new brain waves on it. So maybe they could do something good, but I'm a reserve until they release a game and I see what happens.
So I was originally going to say that, oh my God, EA doesn't have the rights to Star Wars anymore. I'll take a shot of tequila to celebrate. And then Frost finished a statement of open world Ubisoft. I was like, nah, I'm going to take a shot of depression. This shot is now an L and no longer for celebration. Fuck.
Save your tequila for something else.
Yeah, but like I love Star Wars enough to where I'll have an open mind. If the game is good, it's good. Like there are good Ubisoft games. How maybe like 40% of Assassin's Creed games are good.
Yeah.
my biggest issue, and this is just me being a snob with Star Wars and open world being in the same sentence. I want one of two things for a Star Wars game. Either give me the lore, give me the movies, give me characters, give me the story, or let me make like if it's gonna be an open world on an original character, I want to choose if I'm Sith or Jedi or neutral or gray or yellow. Like I want like the whole appeal of the Star Wars universe is that you can make your own destiny.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's been a very long time since we've actually gotten a Star Wars game where you can choose, like on some infamous, like you can choose your path type level.
I've actually not played enough Star Wars games, to be fair, to really like know what has been available. Because the last one I played was Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and that shit was fire, bro.
I do like my Lego Star Wars.
It gave you the story. It said, "Here's the movie as a video game. Have shitloads of fun."
Yeah. I'd say like the types of Star Wars games that have been out for that for you, Kuro, that kind of fill out those. If you want the like choose your own destiny, there is the what's it called? Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
Does that very well.
Yeah.
And then if you want
it back.
exactly. And if you want the like, oh, I just want like a good Star Wars in-world story, then recently there's a Jedi Fallen Order that was really, really good.
Except
I think
for the fact that I have
Respawn
to
developed
walk
it
through the whole level. Do I need? I just beat you. I need to walk through you again.
Because it's Dark Souls Star Wars Edition. That's why.
Star Souls. Honestly, man, greatest Star Wars game of all time, no cap. Pod Racing 64, bro. Can't fucking beat that.
Pod Racing 64.
That shit was fire, dude.
Yo.
I think didn't they bring it back for Switch? I think they did something. They did some pod racing remaster for Switch. Yeah, I haven't played it at all, but it exists.
Hell yeah!
Oh man.
Sakura, you mentioned Haikyuu.
Haikyuu.
Because I know you like to watch anime that isn't currently airing, but
dude, that's me too, bro. That's me too. Don't feel bad about it.
Okay,
don't feel bad.
That's almost everyone that has come on the show, other than Diggs the Prophecy. Shout out Diggs. Whenever I talk about the new anime season, I'm like, all right, what are y'all watching? And it's always I'm not watching anything, or I'm watching this thing from 5 years ago, which is totally fine. But you know,
the cap, because I binged all of Jujutsu Kaisen and I've read all of Boruto. What's popping?
Okay,
all of it.
Shout out to you.
We can talk. We can talk.
Look, I'll take the L then, bro, because like I do not keep up. Like I know a lot of anime. I've seen a lot of anime. I still be watching anime, but it don't mean it came out in the last month. Like in my Discord server, we just watched Ghost in the Shell from 1996. Like that, it's a classic. It's a classic, right? So, you know, the most recent thing I've watched, I'm pretty sure, is Rent a Girlfriend. Like that's the most recent.
Yeah, and you're a dirty Mami-chan.
Oh yeah! Oh shit! I should have brought that up. Oh no!
Yeah, we should. I don't mean to expose you live on stream, but I mean to expose you live on stream.
No, that's what this was. That's what this was. This was a setup. This is an intervention.
This is a setup. Yeah, you have problems, bro. She's an abuser, and you need to you need to get help.
Bro, we like Yagami'd you into our master plan. You didn't see it coming.
Bro, all right.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, let me just say this.
Okay, go ahead. Let
me just say this. February is going to be Love Month for Sinewave Fox. So I've got Kaguya-sama Love is War song coming out. Nice. I've also got a Mommy song coming out, which should hopefully.
I'm not listening to it. I'm not listening to it. I refuse.
It's gonna explain. It's gonna explain everything. It's gonna explain it.
Okay, I'll need to hear that to check your sanity, I guess.
It actually no, it's actually gonna be a fire song. I'm so stoked for it. But let me defend myself a little bit, all right?
Okay.
Because I recognize I might be cheering for Mommy, right? but I recognize she's fucking up, and she ain't good for nobody right now.
Yeah.
The way she is, right? But see, what I also recognize is someone like that. They're like that for a reason, all right? There's a part of mommy that we don't understand, and I want to understand that part, okay?
Okay.
Because I've been there, you know, I've been treated the way mommy has treated people, and you know what? I've come to understand people better that way, because once you get to that point and you understand where they're coming from, it's a different world. Doesn't excuse their actions. I'm just saying there's more to her than what meets the eye.
Okay.
And also, physically speaking, she's the finest character on that show. So
Cap.
Okay.
it's not cap.
It just sounds like you like to fix broken women, but we don't have to get into that. We don't, you know, we can.
Hold on. That's too close for me too. Hold on.
Say it. I'm ready for the heat.
He said, "Oh, you want full smoke? Oh, he said you want full
Bro,
smoke."
bring it. I'm already here. Let's go.
All right, if we talk in full smoke, then let's talk about Jujutsu Kaisen, because oh my god,
Oh, I don't know shit about that.
I was
spell it.
I was asleep.
You were asleep, man?
So to explain how I got to watch Jujutsu Kaisen, I've taken a long hiatus, not purposely so, but I haven't watched a lot of newer series. And just cover our bases, my family caught COVID, and I was quarantining with my brother. And partway through it, we were like, yo, we haven't been watching anime like we should. And my brother's seen a handful of series. He's seen Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, Code Geass, Death Note, a couple, like 8. So he's like, but I want to watch more. So we went through my anime list, which ties into something we're going to talk about later, and did this crazy draft where we picked 24 series that my brother just has to watch. And we decided that the first one we were going to binge was Jujutsu Kaisen. I am blown away. This series has me 17 different types of hype and excited. I find it so interesting. Why did I not watch it sooner? Frost, why did you not force me to watch it sooner? What friend are you?
Because you were watching the old shows, man. Yeah, but if you're a shonen guy, if you're shonen trash, Jujutsu Kaisen is it should be your drug of choice.
It is pure black heart shonen. That's what it is.
See, I'm not a big shonen person, so I don't think I would.
Yeah, it's fine then.
I would watch that.
Yeah, probably not.
Honestly, just watch it. Just later on, just watch fights, because that show is gonna have insane fights, and screw the series.
All right, so use it for video
or
footage.
AMVs. Yeah.
Exactly. that was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. So.
Word.
A lot of these anime, you know, I totally understand not being a seasonal anime person, you know, sticking with the old stuff, because a lot of those are classics, and a lot of these new ones are like, you know, here today, gone tomorrow. But
this is true.
This season we have Attack on Titan, the final season, and I promise you, if you are not watching this, you are fucking your life up.
I'm fucking my life up.
The second highest rating of all anime right now on my anime list.
I have beef.
I don't care. Watch it.
Hold on.
I don't care about your beef.
No, hold on. I have this is full smoke, all right?
Okay.
Kuro is initiating his trap card, maximum smoke.
Okay.
I fucking hate how my anime lists anime. I hate the fact that sequel seasons are treated as sequel series. If you look at the top 100, you will see 19 Gintamas.
Because Gintama's fire. Hold on, let me hit the air horn on one time.
No, Gintama is one of the greatest of all time. Gintama is a GOAT. But my God, the top 17 of the top 20 should not be Gintama movies and seasons. Just give me Gintama once at the highest rating, and I'm happy. I deeply hate how my anime list does it, because I agree. Attack on Titan, if you look at the top 10 episodes of anime on IMDb, all of the top 8 are Attack on Titan episodes. All of them.
Need to get caught up, man.
Yeah.
Like it is definitely going to be one of the greatest of all time. I just hate how my anime list does the seasonal stuff. But I have been hearing really good things about the new season, and I'm actually planning on binging it either today or tomorrow in like one night. because I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's got a real good case for like anime of the decade. Like it's insane.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh, no,
y'all talking some stuff right
beyond
now.
end of
So
the decade, I'm saying Attack on Titan is going to be there with One Piece, Vagabond, Villain Saga, like one of the greatest stories in manga ever told. Like that is where I see the peak of Attack on Titan, given how this season and all the other seasons have been discussed and touted. No, this is going to be Mount Rushmore, and I have zero qualms in saying
Mount
that.
Rushmore. I love that. No, because I loved AOT. When it was first dropping, like back in 2012, 2013, whenever it was, like I was on it every single week. Me and my homies, like we were on top of it. And then I think I watched up to like halfway through season 2, and I just never picked it back up for no good reason, because I was such an AOT stan, dude. Like I was part of like visual novels that did like not visual novels, audio fan things for Attack on Titan. I wrote music for that shit. Like we did so much for AOT, and I can't believe I didn't stay on top of it, because now y'all making some big claims.
No,
So
they're not even big
you gotta
claims.
verify
That's
the
just how good it is.
evidence.
You go ahead and verify it, man.
We certified.
I'm gonna do it. Wait, how long is it right now? That's the question. How many episodes is it?
3 seasons. I think grand total episode count is close to what, 50, 60?
Probably something like that.
Okay.
He's thinking about it. He's like, "Oh, it's kind of long."
Nah, you gotta do it. You gotta
long
do
for
it.
me,
You
dude.
gotta do it.
Yeah, man. Trust
You
me,
gotta do it.
It's really
But if
good.
it's that good, because I also love Full Metal Alchemist, and I got through that. So if it's that good,
It's on that
I
level.
might bite the bullet.
It's on
All
that
right.
level.
I would
Alright.
actually no, hold on. Could I personally put it over Full Metal Alchemist?
Bro, okay. All right.
Man, I'm
Keep
not gonna. I
talking.
won't stop you.
That's the thing. Like, I'm not saying I'm putting it over Full Metal Alchemist. I'm just saying there's a discussion to be had in my mind
There
over
definitely is.
whether it could be a better series than Full Metal Alchemist.
All right.
Okay. So now that
I'm taking notes.
we've geeked out about Attack on Titan enough
AOT.
and used up all of our time, but Mr. Fox, is there anything else you want to let the people know? Future updates about your music or anything? You tell them you love them. Whatever you want to do.
I mean, I got a new song dropping next week. It's a cyberpunk song. It's also got Shwabadi in it, so that'll be cool.
Hey,
Really like his
Habibi.
vocals. Nah, just stick around for February. It's gonna be Mommy Stan month, bro. We're gonna get Mommy t-shirts. We're gonna get Mommy
And we're
face
just
masks.
gonna cut that out of the.
We're gonna get mommy napkins, bro. I'm gonna have everybody saying, "Ooh, mommy."
Man said mommy.
I'm editing all of that out, by the way. I'm deleting that from the VOD.
Yo, it's
No.
Sinewave with the mommy craze. That's crazy.
Bruh.
Listen, y'all scared. Y'all scared to admit your inner demons. It's cool, bro. It's all good.
Bro,
I'm good over here with Misahara, you know. I'm good.
I live with toxic. Okay.
All right. Anyway, thank all of you for coming. This has been the first episode of Nerdcore Central 2021. We came in on a weird note. We had Kuro calling from the phone. We got new functionalities.
You know what it is? We simultaneously leveled up and took a step back. Therefore, the rest of the year, it's only up from here.
Yes, sir.
That's right. That's right, bro.
No,
thank you guys for having me, man. This is
yeah.
Thank you for being on the most unique podcast we will ever do.
Yeah, we
Why
had
do
to
you
have
say
you.
Oh, because of you being on the phone?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, man. We had to have you, Mr. Fox. You're the voice of our intro and outro.
I am. That's true.
It's only right.
It's only right we start the year with you, brother.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate it, man. All you motherfuckers that are still watching and listening, if you haven't followed Nerdcore Central on Twitch, you better do that right now. And if you're not subscribed to them on YouTube, y'all have a YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Clearly, I'm not subscribed. We're all gonna go subscribe right now after this. We're gonna tell our grandparents about it. We're gonna tell our friends about it. We're gonna do everything to get
All
these
of that.
boys grinding this
sir.
year
All of
on some
that.
NCC.
Yes, sir.